Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about learning the guitar. Your very first guitar lesson. What do you do? Where do you start? What do you learn first? So when I started learning the guitar, I went about it completely the wrong way. I started to try and learn lead guitar first of all. I tried to pick up some solos, some Brian May solos from Wembley 1986. Who Wants to Live Forever? I think that's the first thing that I tried to learn on the guitar with my old Hondo Strat copy. I went off in completely the wrong direction. What you need to do is learn chords first. So I discovered, and once I did that, I was on the right path and progressed quite quickly after that. I discovered a book or a series of books called The Russ Shipton Guide to Rock and Pop Guitar. So it was a series of 4 books, and each came with a little cassette. That started off teaching you chords, and then taught you how to play songs. Taught you to just listen to music and listen to other people's music and learn to play along with it. And that's when I really started to make progress. But even then, the Russ Shipton course, that started off, I think, a little bit too complicated for a young child, for example. Somebody 10 or under. It's teaching you things like G and A. I mean, even now G isn't even that straightforward. You play it like that. Your 4th finger to play it like that. Do you play it with both the 3rd and 4th fingers? Do you play it with the inversions? A, do you play it like that, 3 finger, or like that? So, even just basic chord shapes like that, what I've learned is even they are too complicated for, the absolute beginner. Particularly if it's, a child, for example. So, what I've sort of picked up quite recently was, if you notice, if you go into a guitar store, you'll notice that a lot of people start on the ukulele. Now, I never knew the reason behind this, and now I do. It's basically because a ukulele is a 4-stringed instrument, which is simpler than the 6 strings on a full-size guitar. But also you can get away with sort of very simplified chord fingerings. So instead of going for starting off with having to use all 3 fingers to play chords like A and D and G and C and what have you, on the ukulele you can get away with just single finger chords, which is great. But the downside of the ukulele is, of course, it's not the same tuning as a guitar. It's different from concert pitch. So you might learn a few chords on the ukulele. You might get quite far with it, but then if you want to sort of progress onto a full-blown guitar, 6-string guitar, acoustic or electric, you kind of starting again, because you have to revert back to a completely different tuning. The guitar goes A, E, A, D, G, B, E. The ukulele, I think, is tuned to, I don't know, I can't remember, but it's not open G, but it's a different tuning. So anyway, so I was introduced to a guitar course by a guy called Alistair. So if you're watching, Alistair, thanks for that. This is a great tip and a great way of getting youngsters into the guitar. And what it is why not use that concept of the single finger chord, that people that start the ukulele use, and apply that to a full-size guitar, 6-string guitar. Great idea. You don't have to worry about changing tunings. You can just get started right away in the right place, learning chords, not learning lead, playing chords straight away, which is going to get you, hopefully quite quickly, depending on how much practice you put in, to the stage of learning to accompany songs with chords. So anyway, what does all this mean? What do I mean by all this? So say for example, traditionally, you know, you would start off learning the A chord, but for the sake of argument, let's say the G chord, yeah, which is, you know, 3 fingers, not great to come, you know, for an absolute beginner. So instead of you playing the full chord, why not forget about the bottom 3 strings, concentrate on the 3 top strings, and play G with just 1 finger. It's still G, and it's only 1 finger. So you can play G if you really want. This is an inversion of G, but it's still G. 3rd finger, 3rd fret, all the other strings open. And there you go, you've learnt your first chord within minutes, which is fantastic, right? And I don't know why it's taken me, you know, 30 years to discover this, but you know, if I was starting to play the guitar again, I think this is definitely the route that I would take. So that's G. So what about E minor? Even easier. In fact, let's forget about G. Let's not even start with a fret. Let's start with E minor, which is just the top 3 strings open. There's an even better place to start. Your first chord is E minor, just play the strings open. Done. Then G, 3rd finger, 3rd fret. And then what I would do is, you know, practice switching between the 2. Get used to it. Get your fingers used to it. Get your finger muscles used to these chords. That's what it's all about. It's just muscle memory. So okay, so you've got those 2. Now you're quickly going to get bored with that. I mean, you can mess about with, you know, getting into your strumming up and down strokes at that point before you progress on to different chords. But this is just a concept, you know. This is just an idea for somebody that's you know, just picked up the guitar. So you've got your G, you've got your E minor. Now what about C? 1 finger, a little bit more difficult because this time your finger's on the 2nd string, so you have to make it clear the 1st and the 3rd string. But there's your C. Then easy enough, take it off to go back to A minor. C, A minor, C, A minor. Don't forget about the bottom 3 strings for now. You know, you can get to that when you've mastered some basic chords, 1, 2, 3 finger chords on the top 3 strings. So you've got G, you've got E minor, and now you've got C. Great, you've got 3 chords, you know, straight away. Now, you know, a lot of songs are only 3 chords, so there you go. So now what? You know, you could progress to using 2 fingers. So your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, just still playing the top 3 strings, and that's A minor. I mean, I'll grant you, it's not, these aren't the full chords. You know, this is A minor, the full A minor. Yeah, this is the full A minor. This is the full G. But for starting off, this will do for G, this will do for E minor, this will do for C, and this will do for A minor. A minor, not E, so it's the Geordie accent. Yeah? So that's 2 fingers. And then when you feel, you know, you feel like you want to progress, you can. You know, don't rush ahead. Yeah, or you will get frustrated and you will lose interest. So what about then, you know, practice the transitions between those. B, C. You know, and it's just about positioning your fingers, you know, so they can easily access the next chord. And you just keep on practicing, or build up a rhythm like G, C, E minor, A minor, that type of thing. Now, when you start getting really confident, yeah, you can start thinking about using 3 fingers. So, and the best one to start with that is D. Still on the first 3 strings. So, you know, your D is first finger, 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Well, actually, what you want to do is get your first and your second finger, first and second fingers. First finger goes on, the first finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. The second finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and then you've got a string in the middle, and just plonk your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the middle string. And there you go, there's your D. So practice transitioning between those next. And now it sounds like you're kind of making music. You know, you're kind of putting together proper chord structures, you know, which is what, you know, songs are built on. And, you know, if that doesn't get you interested in the guitar, you know, nothing will. You know, coming up with your own chord sequences is, you know, one of the pleasures of learning the guitar in my book. So of course, you know, when you've learned G and you're comfortable with that and you're comfortable transitioning, yeah, what you can do is, and the D is ideal for this, if you want to add in that 4th string, you can, because for D, the open 4th string is a D, so that is your full D. And then you've transitioned into learning your first full chord. You know, so previously you've been learning partial G, which is a partial G. You've learned a partial E minor, which is really this. You've learned a partial C, which is really this. But you'll progress onto that later, and you've learned a partial A minor, which is really this. But don't get ahead of yourself. Yeah. Start off simple and easy and basic. Get comfortable, get your fingers comfortable, get your muscle memory working, get your guitar brain in gear, because anything that you play, if you sit down for 10 minutes, 15 minutes and do this, you don't notice it, but subconsciously all this information is getting into your guitar brain and it's getting stored in there for later, for the next time you do it. You don't forget. It's just like riding a bike. Yeah. So this is what it's all about. Get playing. Yeah. Don't do what I did. Don't try to learn complicated Brian May solos first. Learn basic chords. You know, at this stage you don't even really need to learn about things like tablature and you know, strumming patterns and things like that. First and foremost, learn how to hold the guitar. Yeah, learn how to hold a plectrum, you know, between your thumb and your first finger, and then just get in there and learn basic things. Anyway, I'm waffling again, so I must be coming to the end of the video. Thanks very much, you know, for supporting the channel, for liking, subscribing, commenting. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'm going to be doing some more sort of guitar lesson type videos. They seem to be what's popular. So I think I will do more. But if you want to check out the channel, you know, I've got my own music on there. I've got, you know, recording, music production tips. I've got guitar reviews. I've got guitar tips. I waffle on about Stratocasters a lot. And I've got other lessons. So appreciate your time. Have a nice day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.